would it have been made if I didn't do the open records request and pull the videos?
I think certain changes we made once we got the complaint and knew what the issues were.
Yeah, when I submitted the open records request is when the investigation was launched. So y'all tried to cover it up. Georgia Transparency is going hot, and be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And we're going to get into the series finale of the Lagrange PD 2022 Banning Mills Retreat. On December 22nd of 2022, Georgia Transparency submitted an open records request to the Lagrange Police Department in search of any video or images taking or any internal investigations related to the matters of the 2022 Banning Mills Retreat. December 27th, which was after Christmas, the response that we got was items 3 and 4, and the requests do not exist. But we did get a copy of the roster for the Banning Mills Retreat, so therefore 3 and 4, 4 being any internal investigations related. There were no internal investigations at this time. And was this internal investigation launched after we submitted this open record request?
And me being drunk, you know, and having no other seat around there, instead of just bringing mine, I did like a little kind of one of these. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? I remember being like, what does this even mean? Confounded by your confusion of me or whatever.
And you would not recall you're putting her hands up her shirt.
I could not imagine that.
Okay. You're putting her hands up her shirt.
I could not imagine that.
Okay. Would you describe for me what you saw there that you questioned?
Yeah, I saw Becky, Sergeant Noles, go, and she was sitting in Catfall's lap, kind of like if I'm sitting, he's me sitting in a chair, and she had kind of like come here and sat across his legs here, so her back is here.
Okay.
And sitting in his lap.
Did you see when she came and sat down, or was she?
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember how it played out, but yeah, I just remember her going and sitting in his lap at some point.
And describe for me what was going on. Were they like talking, or was she just sitting there?
I don't.
Were there other folks around? How did that?
Yeah, I don't remember really what him and her were talking about. I couldn't tell you because there were so many other people talking, laughing, and I don't know what him and her talked about. I just know that I was standing up at the time. They were sitting down. There were some other people sitting near the table, and there was some standing on the other side of the table from where I was at. I was basically standing when I saw that. There's that little alleyway between the buildings that takes you to the porch. I was standing right there, me and Lee Wynn.
Okay.
And I think Chris Pritchett. Lee was to my right, Pritchett was to my left, and I was in the middle.
Okay. Was there any conversation there between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking normally, just normal conversation, and then I think we all kind of mumbled each other, what we were seeing.
Right.
It stood out. It stood out to each other. I don't remember what we said, but I just.
How long was she there, I guess?
Probably 30 of the 45 minutes that I was there.
Did you see her get up?
No.
Okay.
I left.
You left.
I left after I saw some stuff.
All right. What else did you see that?
Just the, and again, I didn't really have so much of the problem with her sitting in his lap and they're talking, whatever, having grown-up conversation or whatever they were talking about, I don't know. But I saw his hand. She had on like a hoodie, I think it was like a gray hoodie, and I saw his hand go up in her
upper back,
and he wasn't like groping on her or anything. He was like.
You're putting her hands up her shirt.
I could not imagine that.
Okay.
But I saw his hand. She had on like a hoodie, I think it was like a gray hoodie, and I saw his hand go up in her
You're putting her hands up her shirt.
I could not imagine that.
Okay.
in her back
Okay.
while they were talking. And I was just like, you know, what I saw. And I was like, yeah, it's time for me to go.
Drinking. And at one point, Sergeant Noles went to tell a story, and she made a comment I didn't appreciate.
And what was that?
She was telling a story and said, you know what, sometimes you gotta call a spade a spade. And I said, you can't say things like that. But I don't think she really understood because she was that far drunk.
She was drunk then at that time. Do you
And
remember
I
what
understand.
Do you remember what she was talking about specifically when she said that or made that comment?
She was telling a story, and the way she was telling the story, she was using that phrase, and it just set me off.
Sidebar, through all this stuff, me and Clayton had another falling out, and like we were
Like prior to this?
like the day before.
The day, okay. Upper back?
Upper back, and he wasn't like groping on her or anything. He was like rubbing.
Where you know, feelings were hurt. Like we were sure this is over. Hell, I was drunk, so everything was loud. I don't.
After she slid those off, and she had her comforter and sheets pulled over, she took her sweatshirt. I think it was a sweatshirt. She took that off and threw it there. I was like, all right, just getting ready. She's going to sleep. Out we go.
Okay. All right.
I was drunk, so everything was loud. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. So, you guys are out there for a couple of hours, and you make it back to your room.
Yes.
You wake up the next morning.
Yes.
Is there anything odd that next morning when you wake up?
Odd? No.
Okay.
Like, I'm just trying to figure out who took my pants off, kind of thing. Like, because I didn't know if I did it, if they were did, because I remember when I came to, I was crawling in the bed.
I'll tell you where I'm going. I have, through the interviews, I've heard that there were rumors that you woke up and you were disrobed, or you didn't have any clothes on, or you were partially disrobed, and you didn't remember how that took place, don't remember taking your own clothes off. So that's where I'm going at.
Okay. I remember taking.
Who did you make that comment to when you came to that you're not sure how you got there with your pants off?
So, the table, the table we basically assigned ourselves to for the whole trip was Lore, Pritchett, Robbie Hall, Matt Fowler, and Karen. So I think it was over maybe that breakfast table when people were like laughing and like talking about the night's events because we talked about me crying. I was highly embarrassed. I don't like crying, and I sure as hell don't like telling people around here my story. So, you know, just talking about just how embarrassed I was that it got to that point. I did not want it to get to that point specifically. And they're like, girl, you're all right. You know, you're fine. You didn't do anything the rest of us hadn't done. And several of us have powwowed on our own occasions and gotten drunk. So,
do you believe anything inappropriate happened to you when you went back to your room with regards to the clothes? You do not believe that?
No.
Okay.
So I made that comment. I want to say that's when Chris shared that he and Clower were helping me.
Did anybody during that conversation say, yes, I took your clothes off, or I helped you get into bed? Do you remember what that conversation was there?
Just Chris being like, yeah, we were helping you get in bed, and you wanted to be comfortable, you know. So I think he said he took them off.
Your pants off?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like they have taken care of me in the past. I've slept at Clower's house, you know, multiple times. So I mean, these are people I have history with, so I'm most comfortable with.
Trust.
And I trust them.
Okay. Lap. Did you ever see his hand underneath her clothing on her back or underneath her shirt at any time?
No.
Okay.
Never saw anything like that.
But I saw his hand. She had on like a hoodie, like I think it was like a gray hoodie, and I saw his hand go up in her.
Continued to sit there. I ended up going back across the table. I'm sitting down now on the other side of they're still like against your wall away from me. I'm sitting over here at this table, and she's still sitting there, and I don't know what they're talking about. I can't hear what they're talking about. They're really close to one another. I'm not going to say like kissing close, but they were close enough that you couldn't hear what they were saying to each other. He did have his hand kind of on the small of her back, the top of her butt.
I was drunk, so everything was loud. I just trying to figure out who took my pants off, kind of thing.
But I mean, it wasn't a rubbing motion, or it was there.
Okay.
That continued on for, I don't know, another couple minutes or whatever.
Could you tell if anybody else took notice of that other than?
Oh no, everybody there. It was the elephant in the room. I mean, you couldn't help but notice, because where they're at is literally in the center of the deck.
All right. At that time, tell me who all you remember being present, and I'll give you that list that, again, folks that attended. All right. I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay. So go ahead there.
So eventually they got up. When I say they, Becky and Captain File got up, and they actually moved over maybe 20, 25 feet away from everybody. Like I said, it's a pretty big deck. They were standing on a banister, leaning up against a banister, talking. Again, no idea what they were talking about. While they're over there, they were over there for a while. So everybody else is still mingling, talking. There is a lot of drinking going on. Singing, kind of rendition, dancing of an old song called Baby's Got Back. But he's going, Becky's got back, Becky's got back.
I was drunk, so everything was loud. I just trying to figure out who took my pants off, kind of thing.
And she's out, so she don't hear what's going on. And I don't know what spurred that, what brought that out. Well, as I got ready to leave, I was walking down the deck, the catwalk on the deck, to somebody's room to use the bathroom. And I heard Becky crying as I was walking back by, which of course caught my attention, and I looked over, and I could see she was crying, and I could hear Captain File saying something along the lines of, "You single-handedly almost ruined my patrol division."
I was drunk, so everything was loud. I just trying to figure out who took my pants off, kind of thing.
You broke up marriages, you broke up relationships, and I'm like,
I was drunk, so everything was loud.
I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to be a part of this. I went back to under the deck, was getting ready to leave. I was standing there getting ready to leave whenever they broke up from where they were at. By this time, Becky is completely, she's drunk.
Okay.
She's drunk.
We just do 2-day suspensions for sergeants who break up marriages and sleep around, and that's okay. That's promoted.
I certainly did not say that was okay. No.
As a supervisor, as a leader of other people coming into this department, she's a direct reflection of the Lagrange Police Department.
We're about to have a change in our police chief, and we're sending the message that this is not appreciated. And I don't agree with what's happening. I can promise you that. And that's been,
Why isn't she demoted?
that wasn't my decision to make. That was
So she's a freaking supervisor coming in, new recruits coming in. So
Yes, sir.
the thing is that it promotes, I can just sleep with everybody and I'll get freaking promoted. It's freaking disgusting.
I was drunk, so everything was loud. I just trying to figure out who took my pants off, kind of thing. Because I didn't know if I did it, if they were did, because I remember when I came to, I was crawling in the bed.